The United States and Canada, neighbors, allies, trading partners. What if this peace shattered? Imagine the US attacking Canada. The economic consequences would be catastrophic, devastating. Why? Because these two nations are deeply intertwined. Think about it. In 2024, the US imported over $412 billion worth of goods from Canada. That's more than it exported to Canada. The US relies on Canadian oil. It needs Canadian lumber. An attack, it would be economic suicide. The damage wouldn't stop at the border. Supply chains would crumble, prices would skyrocket, businesses would fail, and ordinary people, they would feel the pain. Job losses, empty shelves in stores, a cost of living crisis like no other. The US economy depends on peace and stability. An attack on Canada throws all that away. It's a gamble no one can afford to take. The idea of the US attacking Canada might seem unthinkable, unbelievable. But history whispers a different story, a story of conflict, of tension, of battles fought on the very soil they share. Remember the War of 1812? American troops marched north. They set fire to Toronto, then called York. The British fought back. They burned Washington, D.C. The conflict left scars that have long since healed. But the memory remains. Even before that, during the American Revolution, the US tried to capture Canada. They saw it as a way to weaken the British. The invasion failed, but the ambition, it showed how vulnerable Canada could be. Fast forward to the present day, the US and Canada are friends, partners, but the past serves as a warning, a reminder that even the closest of allies can clash. Let's be clear, a US attack on Canada wouldn't be just a North American affair. The whole world would be watching and judging. The international community would condemn this act of aggression. Allies would be outraged. The UK, France, Germany, they would all speak out. NATO, the military alliance that includes both the US and Canada, would be in crisis. The very foundation of international security would be shaken. Remember what happened when Russia invaded Ukraine? The global condemnation was swift. Sanctions crippled the Russian economy. The US would face similar consequences, perhaps even worse. The world is watching, and it expects better from the United States. An attack on Canada wouldn't just be a military attack. It would be an attack on the very idea of a rules-based international order. On paper, a war between the US and Canada seems like a mismatch, a David and Goliath scenario. The US military is a behemoth, a technological superpower. Canada's military is smaller, less well-equipped. But hold on, this isn't just about tanks and planes. Canada has something the US doesn't: vast territory, rugged terrain, a harsh climate that could bog down any invading force. And then there's the human element. Canadian soldiers are renowned for their tenacity, their resilience. They would be defending their homes, their families, their way of life. Their motivation would be sky high. A US victory, if it came at all, would be Pyrrhic, costly, bloody. And for what? The US might win the war, but it would lose the peace. It would inherit a shattered country, a resentful population, and a legacy of hatred that would take generations to overcome.